Talk to us about how deals were done, call it 20 years ago compared to how they are today, right? There's definitely a difference in just how transactions happened. Were things less competitive? Was it more competitive? Was it just institutional money? Was it just mom and pops? Talk to us about that landscape maybe 20, 25 years ago compared to today.
I think it's really fair to say that the institutional presence in the commercial real estate industry has absolutely exploded over the term of my career anyway. At the time I joined, there was no such thing as, the mega giant REIT, like an EQR or an EOP, or those guys didn't exist when I showed up. There was no Blackstone. There was no BlackRock. The most high profile real estate owners were like insurance companies, like Prudential was when I joined them, that happened to have some real estate investments as an alternative investment strategy. They were mostly lenders. They weren't really owners. So from that time when it was Metropolitan Life, it was Equitable, it was Prudential, it was Northwestern Mutual, those sort of folks that owned real estate mostly by accident, but also started to see there was some value to owning it rather than just being a lender to it. The industry just evolved from there. It became institutionalized. And with that institution came the investment management model, where you would raise money from other people, not just from your insurance premiums, to invest in things and to build buildings and to help, expand the built environment within some strategies that then led us into this incredibly mega-sized industry that we see right now with the likes of the BlackRocks and the Blackstones and, the EQRs and former EOPs and GGP, what's now Brookfield. I mean, these things are massive platforms that people didn't have 25, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So that transition has afforded a lot of opportunity for people. It has also, I think, kind of skewed the world's perception of what commercial real estate is. A lot of people, when they see it, think that's all it is. It's all as institutional ownership, it's mega REITs, it's investment pension funds, it's all that stuff. A lot of this industry is actually owned by moms and pops. Commercial real estate was a family business when it all started. We didn't call it commercial real estate. It was just you own stuff, right? And it was a family business. It is still a lot of private ownership. It's still a lot of mom and pops who own, 4 flats somewhere, or they had an apartment building that they've had in the family for 40 years. I mean, that is still a meaningful part of this industry that most people don't really talk about very much.
Do you think, so I've been, my career's been for about 20 years, and I've watched all those ones you rattled off that kind of followed grow, and so much money coming into the space. You kind of alluded that it doesn't really affect the smaller landlords, but how do you think this has helped or hurt them, I guess, specifically?
Well, I don't say it doesn't affect them. It's just I don't think we think about them very much because we tend to be blinded by the shiny light, which is the big high profile deal, who owns the Willis Tower this year, or who's doing, some mega deal somewhere that everybody just looks at. I think what has happened is that for smaller owners, their competition for capital has probably changed a little bit. They may find themselves, no longer as in control of their market as they used to be. The guys who were just like neighborhood investors are now seeing institutions and larger players kind of creeping into their space, sometimes kind of changing the whole dynamic of what those markets look like, right? So if you owned 4 flats in, Rogers Park at one point, and now you're seeing that there's actually someone coming in wanting to invest a lot of money in that market, it can change the market you're dealing with. It can change the expectations of your users. It can change, you've got to change with it too, which is sometimes not easy to do. So I don't think it's hurt them. I just think it has forced maybe a little bit of change, and it has probably made them kind of second guess, is this what they want to do forever? Because taxes go up, because values go up, because more capital is in a market. All those things can have a very significant impact on small portfolios.